Says I'm live, and the stream that I had before is not working. So I tried and it just kept rotating around. And as you can see, I fixed the light in my kitchen. It's a lot better. The camera is better. I'm here and you're not because you're probably on the old stream. And I am so, so sorry. But it simply wouldn't populate when I hit it. So a little old lady in a big old world is punting right now. And I'm hoping you can find me. So today we're going to make Waldorf salad and what I call Christmas salad. Now, Waldorf salad has an interesting history. It was created at the Waldorf Astoria in 1896. It was a very, very simple side salad. It was just apples, mayonnaise, and celery. Over time, it came to include grapes, nuts, and then I have my own take on Waldorf salad. The reason I call it Christmas salad is because it's got green in it. And when I make it, it's got red and green apples. So I'm using McIntosh and I'm using McIntosh, which is red, and I keep the skin on it and then the peels. And I'm also using Granny Smith, which is nice and tart, which when you're making a kind of a sweet, savory salad like this, the Granny Smith is perfect. I actually prefer Jonathan apples, but when I went to the store to get Jonathan's, there were none available. And the reason I also call this Christmas salad is because it was one of my sons. I have two sons that loved my cooking. One, he likes his own cooking, but these two boys liked my cooking. And one of them really loved my Waldorf salad. And he was born on Christmas. He's no longer with us. And it was really tough for me because one of the last things he asked me to make for him on the last Christmas he was with us in 2019 was to make him my Waldorf or Christmas salad, and I did. So I'm making that today. And that's part of my managing myself and my loss and the ever-present fact that I do mourn them not being with me is to kind of face these things and do these things that were traditional in my life. And so I am doing them today. So I've already got everything out here. I've got my celeries all cut up. And I think I've already told you, I don't use a cutting board. I cut like my mom. I just take the knife and I know it doesn't look fancy like everybody else has their cutting board and they chop up really fast and all of that. I've never done that. My mother never did that. I never saw her using a cutting board and I never did. So here are my chopped up. Whoops. We don't want that. Here's my chopped up celery. It's going in the mixing bowl now. Okay, and remember, I like to clean as I go. So that's already going in the sink to be cleaned. That's right. And next, I've got my Granny Smith apples. They're going into. And we're going to leave that bowl out because that's probably what I'm going to put some in. And we're going to put in, we're going to put in our McIntosh apples. Whoops. And I used 2 McIntosh apples. I also put a tiny little bit of lemon juice on them because we're going to make this a little tart, a little sweet, a little savory. It's going to have some other fun things in it. And next, I've got my walnuts, and they're going in. Again, that's going in here to be cleaned. Clean as you go, clean as you go. Remember, I'm also the frugal mini unboxer, so I make miniatures, but I like to be frugal about the things that I do. I don't like to give away my money, and I certainly don't like to give it away to people who don't need it, like millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires. I like to keep some of it for us. So I use Dollar General frequently to buy some of my staples, and mayonnaise is one of the staples that I do buy there. Now, to be honest, it's not as good as Hellmann's. It's not as good as the best and most expensive mayonnaises around. But when you're using in cooking, it doesn't really matter as much because the other things will help doctor it up and help take the place. So I use Clover Valley real mayonnaise. I think I got it for $3.29 this summer when it was on sale. And it has an expiration date of late December 25. So I used it up in the right amount of time. So we're going to go ahead and just put a really big dose of that mayonnaise in there. Okay, got the mayonnaise in there. Somebody came and somebody left. That's fine. Okay, so here we go. So actually, let me just, there you go. You can actually see it. And as you can see, I've got my hair up. I'm cleaning as you go. I scrub my hands really, really, really good. And that was one great big gigantic serving spoon of mayonnaise. To be honest, I think it needs a little more. I'm going to put a little more mayonnaise in it. So my take on this is I like to make it a little sweeter, partly because I do have the Granny Smith's apples in it. And one of the things that I do, which is going to sound kind of weird to you, I suppose, is I will also take some of these sweetened dried cranberries, and these are Grocer's brand from Winn-Dixie, so they were less expensive than the name brand. So we're going to put some of those dried cranberries in instead of raisins because they're red, and it's a Christmas salad. So here we go. We've got some of those in there. Right now we've got celery. We've got sweetened dried cranberries. We have a tiny little bit of lemon juice. We've got probably 2 gigantic tablespoons of real mayonnaise, and we're going to go like that. We're going to stir it up. Now, there are 2 ways. My kids always liked it when I put marshmallows in it to sweeten it. So I'm actually going to do 1 little bowl with marshmallows in it. And then the rest, I will do a little powdered sugar, just a little powdered sugar. It mixes in really well. It's not grainy, it's not gritty, and it will work out just fine. So actually, we're going to put some marshmallows in here for later for another bowl. And I am going to be putting in a little bit of the powdered sugar in this. And the other thing that we will do, we'll add a tiny little bit of vanilla, just a little bit. Vanilla doesn't hurt anything. Makes things a little bit better, so the vanilla's in. And I have nutmeg that we're going to sprinkle on top. Yes, because it's apples and nuts, and nutmeg works. And you know, the interesting thing about recipes that I've discovered as I've gotten older is once you've learned the basics of food and cooking, recipes kind of aren't as needed. They're basically guides, and that gives you the creativity to do what you want to do. So here goes a little bit of powdered sugar. I probably put in a big teaspoon of powdered sugar in there. And we are just about to finish this off. So since I put the powdered sugar in here, I won't put the marshmallows in, which are actually quite nice in it and does sweeten it up really good. So here we go. It's going to go in this nice serving bowl. And get it out of the mixing bowl. Ooh. There we go. Sprinkle a little nutmeg on it. And here we go. Christmas salad. I don't know if you can see that, but there it is. It's walnuts, it's celery, it's some dried cranberries, it's Granny Smith apples and McIntosh apples, so that you've got the red and the green, and then the cranberries as well. Mayonnaise, a little lemon juice, and a little powdered sugar to sweeten it up. So that is my version of the Waldorf salad, what we call a Christmas salad. That was my son Daniel's and my son Jeremy's favorite side salads at Christmas. And one of the other things that I wanted to do today was also talk a little bit about grief at Christmas time. This is the first year without my mother. I've known her for all my life. So I've had nearly 70 years with my mother, and it's very, very emotional not to have her here this Christmas. But I'm also the mother who's lost 3 adult children. I lost my first adult child in 2004 to routine gallbladder surgery when she was 25. I lost her baby brother when he was 29 on the 20th of December, 2018. And 15 months later, I lost my oldest son, U.S. Army veteran and a sergeant, my son Jeremy. My son Daniel was a cook. He owned a restaurant, and he loved my cooking. And he would frequently ask me to make my potato salad. In fact, my apple salad or my Christmas salad, or AKA Waldorf salad, was always asked for by those boys, but they also liked my potato salad. Daniel owned a restaurant, and he was hoping at some point to even put my potato salad in his restaurant. Now, potato salad is not normally thought of as Thanksgiving or a Christmas side dish, but a lot of people like ham at Christmas, and potato salad goes great with ham. So potato salad was often on our table at Christmas. And back to the issue of how do we get through and keep our heads up high and, keep from crying all the time at Christmas, is sometimes we have to flip the switch in our lives. And this year I made a decision to kind of flip the switch or flip the script, either way you want to look at it. And I took a trip. And I took a trip to New York City at the beginning of the month with my youngest son. And that was to see a middle son that was living in New York. I wanted to have deeper experiences with my other adult children. And so at the beginning of December, I changed up how my December would be because I did that. And it was a great experience. And Amtrak was wonderful. And as somebody with osteoporosis, and right now is a good time for me to do a little bit of my micro workouts in front of you. So right now I'm lifting up my right leg and I'm lifting it above the counter, and I'm going to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to switch sides. Oop, there's that back. There's that kyphosis. We got to work on that. Ooh, we got to work on that. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. That side starter. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Got to keep it moving. Got to keep the rotator, the hip flexors moving. So sometimes when I'm cooking and I'm taking a break, and by the way, I just made a quiche over there. You can probably see it on the stove. So I made my husband's quiche this morning. So I was over there standing up and doing my calf lifts, because calf lifts actually help straighten your back, but also it's your second heart. Your calves are your second heart. So I'm just going to continue to do the good things that I know to do. Reflect on the memories of having a wonderful trip with my boys. Know that I've got a couple hard days coming where memories might flood back, might surprise me, might catch me unawares. You know how when you're watching a movie or watching a television show or something comes on and you just go, oh, I thought I was doing good, but that really hit me. Well, I've learned that that's just a part of the process, and I'm no longer afraid of that. I was very, very afraid of emotions for a very long time, but I'm not afraid anymore. So micro workouts keep my body getting healthier, and I keep my mind getting healthier by using my kitchen as a base, as a sanctuary, as a place of prayer, as a place of creating, cooking, of caring for myself and caring for my husband. And I even home make my own dog food. So I'm very active in my kitchen. And I hope to be live with you and speak with some of you today, but that didn't happen because it simply didn't populate. It just would not come on, and I had to do another live. And I'm so sorry about that, but I'm going to try again. This is a learning curve. I'm only into this 5 months, this whole YouTube channel and having kind of my own little show, whatever it is, Truman Show. So I appreciate all the patience that I receive from everybody. Let me think, what else did I want to talk about? Okay, we talked about the Waldorf Astoria, and that's where the Waldorf salad came from. This salad is still looking really good. I wish you could see. Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, it's going to be so, so, so good. Also, I might have sprinkled a tiny little bit of salt on it too. I might do that later. So let me know what you'd like to see me cook in the kitchen. I like to bake, and I want to probably do some baking before Christmas, and I'd like to share that with you. I'd like to share the reality of just getting up and going forward, even when it seems impossible, even when you don't want to, especially during the holidays. My channel, by the way, is not a me thing. It's a we thing. And the more interactive we are with one another, the better it will be. Oh, one other thing I wanted to talk to you about, and that is the name of my channel, Little Old Lady in a Big Old World. I actually had some pushback from a friend of mine who's almost 20 years older than me. She's my mom's age. And she just did not like the title. I'll never be a little old lady. And I went, the day that I accepted that I had shrunk a lot and that I was no longer 50 or 55 or even 60 or even 65, the day that I realized I was in the last third of my life, the day that I accepted it, the day that I went, I'm not fighting this like a crazy person anymore. I'm going to flow like a river with the rest of my life, was the day that I had peace. I'm no longer afraid. And I like being old. I mean, I love old things. I've always loved old things. I've loved old things my whole life. When I was little, I loved old things. I loved old people when I was young. I continue to love old people all of my life, which is a good thing now that I am one. And so I think that value that I placed on the wisdom of older people learning from their lives has really helped me a lot. When I was a child, I used to read, I think it was Reader's Digest and the New York Post. What was it? The Saturday Evening Post. My grandmother and my mom had that a lot. And there was an artist in the late 50s and 60s, I believe, 1960s. And I read about her when I was a little girl in the 1960s, and it was Grandma Moses. And she didn't pick up a paintbrush until she was pretty near 80 years old. There's my Indiana coming through here, my Hoosier. She did not pick up a brush until she was really old, older than me, a lot older than me. And she began painting, and her primitive paintings became sought after. And then she continued to paint into her 90s. She had a last act that was amazing and full of creativity. And I know that myself as a young child went, oh, wow, that is amazing. And fortunately, I did have older women in my life, not so much older men like the grandfathers, because the women lived longer. And they really were North Stars and really did point me in a direction that says you should be as who you're supposed to be for as long as you're supposed to be. I know my grandmother wrote into her 80s, and my mother wrote and was a columnist into her 80s, a food columnist. And by the way, she used to make traditional Waldorf salad in the holidays. Not the fancy stuff that I just made today, but something a little simpler and closer to the original, closer to the Waldorf Astoria's version of it. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you today. We have the Waldorf salad all done, AKA Christmas salad, because it's got a lot of green and red in it. I shared with you a little bit how I'm just pushing through another year of my life without 3 of my children. And you can too if you faced great loss. You really can. Again, it's a we thing, not a me thing. It's better to do it when it's better to not do it alone. And as far as I'm concerned, when I'm here, you're not alone. And I don't feel like I'm ever alone. My scripture that really leads me is Psalm 71:18. And if you don't mind, I'm going to read it for you. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull it up on my phone because I haven't memorized it yet. That's what I used to tell my acting students, memorize your lines. So here we go. Psalm 71:18. It's a beauty. You're going to love it. What? It says, oh, snap, reload. Okay, here it is. It says, even when I am old and gray, do not forsake me, my God, till I declare your power to the next generation, your mighty acts to all who are to come. You know, when you face great loss, you wonder why you're still here. That's a question many of us have had to ask ourselves. And this Psalms answers it for me, and I'm going to repeat it. Even when I'm old and gray, do not forsake me, my God, till I declare your power to the next generation, your mighty acts to all who are to come. So I hope you feel like we've declared something of the goodness of God here today, something goodness, something frugal, fun, a little naughty, a little nice, the apple salad with a little sugar and sweets in it, but some good healthy things in it, some things to think about, and know that you're not alone. And I sure appreciate you, and I do love you. Thank you. Oh, and also subscribe, like, and share.